everybody, welcome back to W.M.S.T. This is episode number 12. Let's introduce you to the cast today. We've got back on the show today, Father Suplex, Shawn.
Thank you for getting my name right, and thank you for the wonderful introduction, my friend.
Yeah, no problem. I've been back.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's back.
Shut your fucking whore ass up.
And we got editor-in-chief Ziggler.
Yeah, what's up, Syed? I can't wait to talk Endgame.
Yes, can't wait. Alright, and we got the man with no gimmicks, Cam.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
I like that intro. And we got back again, 3 weeks in a row. That's some kind of record. Tyler.
Your savior is here.
Yeah, our trump card right here. And as always, we got Hound.
What's up, boys?
What's up? Alright, so this week, it's a very special episode. We're going to talk all things, everything Endgame. Well, before we get to Endgame, we're going to do a quick few things. Cam was the last member of the show who didn't watch Shazam yet, so he just got to see it today. And he's going to drop his thoughts quickly, and we're going to get his review. So go ahead, Cam.
Okay, I know. This is basically all MCU thing for tonight, but this is DC. Anyway, I saw Shazam, and I had fun with it. It was probably one of the better movies that I saw of the year. I took a ton of notes during it, and I actually took a ton of notes on it. Yeah.
Please don't go through them all.
I'm not going to go through them all.
Thank you.
Pause. Damn it. Really enjoyed Billy and the Shazam character. I actually really enjoyed the overall story arc of the movie. It was kind of felt like one of those movies where it would, if it just wasn't linked to DC or even Marvel or even any other comic book company, it would work as its own original standalone character and standalone universe and movie. That's how good it is. It has a really nice balance of comedy, action, it even has its own darker elements. I mean, they talked spoilers last week, and I didn't really mind that. I'm more of I want to see it to believe it type of thing. With this story, basically adding all these different things into it, a sequel's bound to happen. And I actually can't wait to see what they do with it. My rating for it is 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, alright. So with that, our score, I think it averages out to pretty much the same. Yeah, it's still an 8.7 out of 10. Yeah, that's a pretty positive review for Shazam from W.M.S.T. So our final
Still
score,
way too high.
Yeah, well, it's still 8.7 out of 10.
What do you mean still too high?
I mean, I give it like a 7.9. I think 7.9 or like 8 out of 10 is good, but 8.7, that's just a little notch too high.
Well, I mean, that's the average score for our podcast. Yeah. Alright, so with that, let's talk Road to Endgame this week. Sadly, it's the last one. Yeah, we're going to talk Avengers Infinity War. We started this about 10 weeks ago. We rated our top 10 MCU movies. We reviewed them, ranked them, rated them. And now this week, we're going to talk about the big one that came out last year, Avengers Infinity War. So I'll get us kicked off on the review. Now, when you talk Infinity War, you got to talk about the sheer scope of this movie. Like, you've got so many characters, you've got so many locations, you've got so much going on. The sheer scale of this movie is absolutely amazing. Of course, a lot of characters can be messy, and I feel like this movie handled it very well. A lot of characters were well handled. The standout being, of course, Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. This movie truly depended on him. Even with all the characters in the movie, it really depended on him. And his performance was absolutely amazing. The one thing I was really surprised and caught me off guard about this movie, and I was talking about the story with the guys last year, and I told them, I feel like since it's gonna be a two-parter, there's gonna be half stones collected in this movie, and then maybe Avengers 4, we're gonna see the rest of the stones collected. Now, we didn't realize how this movie was gonna end. Like, the spoilers and everything were being hid under wraps so much. It was actually kind of crazy, and a very smart marketing play by the Russos and Marvel. But yeah, like, just seeing Thanos actually, the bad guy actually saying what he's gonna do and actually do it is actually really crazy and doesn't happen a lot. And when it actually does, it's a big deal. It's a great cinematic moment. Uh, Other than that, a lot of dream character interactions happen. Now, off the top of my head, the one I really liked was Tony and Doctor Strange, two huge egos colliding. I think the scenes with them, Benedict Cumberbatch and RDJ, just were absolutely great. Those two really played off of each other. And Thor and Guardians, all the character combinations worked really well. The big thing with this movie, of course, is the shocking ending, where Thanos completes his mission, actually snaps half the people of Earth away, and that includes half the Avengers, leaving just the original Avengers and just a few others. It was a shocking ending, to say the least. I mean, I remember the dead drop silence in theater to this day, when everybody was becoming dust and disintegrating. It was just absolutely crazy, and it's something I will never forget for the rest of my life. But yeah, overall though, this is an all-time classic, and of course, absolutely, it's gonna get a 10 out of 10. So with that, let's go with Ziggler, your review.
10 out of 10. Wow, you give the original Avengers that too. And Civil War, I believe, and Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Yeah, those were all great movies. Now, this is my second favorite MCU film, right behind Civil War. And first, I want to give a huge shout out to the Russos. They just did an excellent job on dealing with all these characters, and I know it's very hard to handle all those characters, and some of them didn't get a lot of screen time, but still, the Russos did a fantastic job with handling these characters, and I think having two directors that are brothers definitely played a huge role in the fact that this movie was so well done. Rotten Tomatoes has this movie at 85%, and I disagree wholeheartedly with that. This movie was just a fun, action-filled, intense, emotional thrill ride throughout. There is not a dull moment in this movie, not a wasted line in this movie, not a wasted piece of dialogue in this movie. This movie had me on the edge of my seat the whole goddamn time, and I love the opening scene when it showed Thanos, and it showed us that shit was about to go down, and did it ever. It just showcased Thanos so well in that first 5 minutes that he was the most badass, best villain of the MCU ever. And I loved Thanos' story arc here. I loved his story and character arc a lot. I'm glad they changed it from the original Infinity Gauntlet comic when he did everything because he was in love with Lady Death. I feel like this storyline for Thanos just made more sense for the movies, and I think this is the definitive Thanos story. Now, I will never forget the moment when Shawn and I were in the theater and Thanos snapped his fingers. The whole theater gasped, and Shawn and I looked at each other, and we were like, what the fuck just happened? And then first, we see Bucky turn to ash, and the whole theater was like, holy shit, it's going down. Like, holy hell. Like, my jaw just dropped to the floor for like the whole last, 3 minutes that was going on. It was just fucking... I'll never forget that moment, the first time I ever saw that in the theaters. And by far, the saddest Avenger death that got to me most was Spider-Man's death. It just broke my heart, and my eyes started to water Peter's still just a kid crying to Tony that he doesn't want to go, and it just gets me every time. And then Peter's on the floor and he realizes that he's an Avenger and he has to be a man about this, and he has to be a man for Tony. And yeah, it's just really sad. And then him saying I'm sorry, apologizing, because Tony now has to live with the fact that he feels responsible for Parker's death. And also the final words of the film, with all the remaining Avengers on Earth surrounding Vision's body, and Cap saying, "Oh God," realizing that they just lost, realizing that half of humanity is dead. Just Chris Evans' acting is great in that scene. Never seen Cap lose hope like that. Never seen him on the floor just not knowing what the fuck to do now. And that last scene with Thanos smiling on the farm with that beautiful score in the background, it was just goddamn beautiful. And people compare Infinity War like The Empire Strikes Back, and now Endgame is going to be like Return of the Jedi. And Infinity War was probably one of the greatest cliffhangers of all time, and I give it a 9.3 out of 10.
Okay, 9.3.
Sorry, I went a little long. I just had a lot to say about it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I think we all did.
Yeah, no problem. Not at all. All right, we'll go with Shawn now with your review.
One of the things I'll never forget is when Thanos was beating up the Hulk. I turned over to Ziggler and I said, "This is already the best Marvel movie I've ever seen." And I'm like, "This is the craziest fucking thing ever." And it was. This movie is my second favorite Marvel movie, and right behind Iron Man 1. It is from beginning to end one of the greatest, like, not even just superhero movies, just movies in general. Like, you don't even define it as superhero movie. The score put into this movie is just so gorgeous. The ending score, which is called Porch, with Thanos sitting on the farm, is just one of the most beautiful. Like, it's only a minute long, but it's just so powerful. It's just so gorgeous. And also the score when he
it reminds me of like a Game of Thrones score.
Yeah, and like, well, I don't know that, but like when he tosses Gamora off the mountain, it's just so like intense. And the whole when you're gonna see a movie like this, you need to see it in an opening night crowd, because when Tony brings out the bleeding edge armor, everyone's cheering. And Cap shows up, everyone's cheering. But then the moment that matters most is when Tony was stabbed. Everyone in the theater, and I jumped into Ziggler's arms, which was like no hesitation. I literally
he did.
I did.
I'll never forget that.
I literally jumped out of my seat into him, and he shoved me down. And I just had my hand over my like face, because that's the initial like emotion.
I was scared too, dude. I thought he was gonna die.
I know. And then when Thanos snapped his fingers, my whole body went like, blah, like, what the hell? And like, silence, dead silence. And when people start disintegrating, at first I was like, wait, what's happening? Then I was like, it hit me. Oh my God, they're all dying. It's just the only complaint I have about this movie, which I like, the only scene I don't like is the Scarlet Witch Vision scene where they're in the hotel and then like they're walking to the station. That's like the slow part for me. Yeah, I felt like we needed a nice breather. But like,
I love that scene. I don't know why you didn't like it.
That's the most boring scene in the movie for me. Yeah,
it's literally just 3 minutes. Calm down.
No, like the whole, not just that, like the whole scene with
they literally showed that scene right after that New York City battle. Like they just wanted to cool you down for a second.
When it starts from the hotel till like it ends before Cap and Black Widow showed up.
Yeah, before Cap,
I just didn't really like.
When Vision said we should have stayed in bed.
No, like when they're fighting Proxima Midnight in Corvus Glaive, I just didn't care. I didn't really like. I'm not a Vision fan. I'm not really I'm not that high on Scarlet Witch, so I was like, okay, it's cool, but like, I want to see Thanos. But and props to the Russos for making one of the greatest movies of all time. It's sad that it didn't surpass Force Awakens or Avatar or Titanic, but Endgame 100% is blowing past Avatar and Titanic to hit the 3 or 4 billion mark. But I give this movie a 9.7 out of 10.
9.7. All right, got that score in. All right, Tyler, you're up with your review.
All right. Well, let's start by saying we all have our favorite Marvel movies. You guys all know yours. I have Ragnarok, but I think we all know Infinity War is the best one in the entire saga. Just everything about the movie works. The promotion of the movie, it starts off great with the Russos tweeting and spreading the whole hashtag Thanos demands your silence, so people are not going around spoiling the movie. I don't know how well it worked, but I know I didn't get spoiled, so I really like the promotion. On to the actual movie, the intro just shows you how powerful Thanos is by killing Heimdall, Loki, and half of the ship. He basically destroys the Hulk, which most of the casual fans just believe is the strongest Avenger, just going in blind. In the movie, you follow the 3 main groups. You got the Titan group, which is my favorite. You got the amazing chemistry between Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch, which is amazing considering it's their first movie together, I believe. I don't know if they have a movie outside of Marvel, but I don't think so. And also the Guardians are just so funny in the with that group, especially Drax and Mantis. The kick names, take ass line is just so funny, especially the long pause after, just Tony staring blankly. His mind is just blown at how stupid they are.
Can we just be glad at the fact that our boy Uncle Dave isn't one of the biggest movies of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, true. And he has some of the best lines in the movie too. Like, why is Gamora?
Why is Gamora?
Such a great line.
And
the second group,
he's invisible.
The second group, you got the Wakanda group, which is led by Steve Rogers, of course. And they're just basically protecting Vision and the Mind Stone from Thanos. And one of the negatives, not really too much of a negative, because it was bound to happen, is that Captain America is only on screen for 6 minutes, which he's one of the best characters, so I was expecting him to have a lot more, but someone had to bite the bullet, I guess. And then
also Black Panther too.
Yeah, Black Panther didn't have.
And Shuri.
Yeah, none of them really had too many, but with a group that big, it had to happen.
I mean, Panther just had his own movie just a month or two prior.
And then the last group, you got Thor, Rocket, and a Groot. And 2 things I want to mention is the scene with Thor and Rocket on the ship, where Thor's going over everything he's lost, his mother, father, sister, brother, best friend. It's such a great scene because it just shows that Rocket he realizes he has so much to lose, all of the Guardians, and he eventually does lose every single one of them, besides Nebula, if you want to count her. And the second thing I want to point out is that Groot has a very little character arc that is very impressive in my eyes for only having 3 minutes of screen time. He goes from a moody little teen to someone who helps create the Stormbreaker, the Thanos killing weapon, in all of just 3 minutes. And then the scenes in this movie are amazing. You got maybe 1 or 2 scenes in every Marvel movie, which will give you that, like, this is amazing feeling, but this one has so many. You got, like, Thor arriving at Wakanda, obviously. You got Wanda destroying the Mind Stone. The music in that scene is amazing. Tony getting stabbed, like Shawn said earlier. Red Skull returning, which I was predicting, and I'm glad I was right. And then when Thanos almost loses on Titan right before Star-Lord punches him, and just that scene where everyone's all teaming up, and that one is really amazing. And one more scene about the in the movie, I want to say, is Thanos throwing the moon. It's such a good scene. We saw it in the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, which was never released to the public, but just seeing it happen was just amazing. And then the last part about the movie I want to talk about, obviously, is the snap. It was just so unexpected. We all thought the Avengers would win when Untitled, right before Quill punched Thanos, like I said, in Wakanda when Thor arrived. Well, he wasn't there yet. Thanos was not there yet. When Wanda destroyed the Mind Stone, we all thought Avengers are going to win. Thor threw the Stormbreaker right into Thanos. Avengers win, and then it actually happened. And I just remember the theater was dead silent. There was no music playing, which was great in my opinion. It was just, it's something you're not going to forget. Just dead silent in the theater. No one's saying a thing. They're all shocked, especially when Spider-Man starts going on. He doesn't want to go. Just, you can hear everyone got upset. And then I just remember when Thanos was on the, I don't know if it has a name, the last planet with the sunset. I just remember the
Titan.
Music was playing. Was it? No, it wasn't Titan. What is it?
They're calling it Titan 2, I think.
Are they? Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
no, it's Garden Realm.
Yeah, his farm, whatever. We'll just call
Garden
it the Sunset
Realm.
Planet.
Fair.
The Sunset Planet, he's just walking through it. I just remember the music was playing and the screen just went black. It said Avengers Infinity, or Marvel Studios presents. And me and my girlfriend just looked at each other. Our jaws were dropped. We cannot believe what happened. We thought there was like another 30 minutes left. The Avengers would come back and win, but they did not. They lost. And it was shocking. And yeah, that's basically all I got for the movie. There's a lot more to talk about, but that'll take forever to get through everything. It's the best movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and everyone should at least see it once. Even if you're not a Marvel fan, I think you'll enjoy it. It's an easy 10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10. All right, sounds good. All right, with that, we'll go with Hound's reviews now. Go ahead.
This is the best superhero movie, or even the best Marvel movie, besides Spider-Man 2 and a whole bunch of other ones that I can't really think of right now, like Logan and others. And this is like a near perfect film. There are parts of it where it can get a bit longer time. The jokes were amazing. The best jokes I've heard in a long time. It made me laugh so much. I loved the character interactions. One of the best parts of the movie for me personally is when you got Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and an Iron Man talking, and then and Spider-Man just casually hanging upside down. I love that. And then the Guardians just come in, that a whole fight scene happens, and Thanos was just great as a villain. This shouldn't even been called Avengers Infinity War. It should have been called Thanos, the search for the Infinity Stones or something. Because Thanos is the best villain, and it's going to be so hard to even top Thanos, maybe to even come close to Thanos, because he's just great. His the VFX on Thanos is just incredible and fascinating. The scene with Mantis is the best CGI I have seen in my 18 years of life. Seriously. When Mantis... Yeah, when Mantis sits... when Mantis sits her thick ass down on Thanos' neck and touches the sides of his head and put him into a sleepy state, and then it's wow. Because I'm pretty sure it was all VFX and stuff.
Yeah, but they put prosthetics on Brolin to make the...
No, they put prosthetics on the side where Mantis had her hands. She was
yeah, they put some type of mask or a chest piece or to...
They do. It was all CGI.
Yeah. No, they sometimes have to, where their hands are going to be, they put a prosthetic so it doesn't look like...
I know that. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I watched the director's commentary a few days ago, so that's new information for me. And also, Josh Brolin did an amazing job, And when Thor arrived in Wakanda, one of the best scenes in the MCU, where like he just arrives and he goes Rocket and Groot and Stormbreaker just coming in, wrecking all over the place. He grabs it and he's like, "Bring me Thanos!" I love that
The
scene.
best scene, not one of the best scenes.
Yes.
He didn't say it like that, but he said it like that.
And the ending.
If he said it like that, then it would be the worst scene of all time.
Shut the fuck up.
So you gotta have rough in your voice, man.
Oh, Hound finally growing a pair. Fuck you, Hound.
Shut your damn mouth, you dirty cunt.
God.
You are all very dirty.
Alright, go ahead, Hound.
Alright,
So-
go on.
So I thought the movie ended at like 2 points. Like for some reason, I don't know why. I just thought when Gamora killed Thanos, I thought, oh, movie's over. And then, but no, he took her ass and threw her off a cliff. I love the Red Skull like thing. I love how they showed Red Skull because I did not get spoiled for that, but I did get spoiled for Gamora's death, which was just heart wrenching to watch because I knew what was gonna happen before.
How'd you get
even
spoiled for
incinerated.
Gamora's death?
I was on Discord and some guys like server, and then the like it said Gamora dies. So yeah, that's how it got spoiled for last year. And then and I'll admit I was pretty confused when Thanos snapped his fingers because like wait, what happened? Because I didn't really get a good. I didn't really get a good look at the gauntlet when he snapped his fingers, and then maybe around when Black Panther died, I was like, oh shit, he did the snap thing. Because when Bucky died, he was like, wait, what's happening? What the fuck? And then I'll admit, when Spider-Man died, I cried when he said, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. That broke me because Spider-Man is like my all-time favorite Marvel character ever. Like I grew up with the Sam Raimi trilogy. I love the Andrew Garfield movies. The second one's kind of like shit, even though when I was on TV, I watch it. What?
The second one's one of the best movies. Oh, I thought you meant.
Alright, stay on topic.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is
Yeah, my bad.
Bad.
Stay on topic. My bad.
Yeah.
Stay on target.
And then when Thanos just teleports back, sits on the farm and just smiles, and the music's playing, and it just makes you feel so heart-wrenching, depressed. That scene is just so amazingly shot and so beautiful and depressing at the same time because you know Thanos won and the Avengers lost for the first time ever. Like in the first time ever in movie history, like probably not the first time, but like when have you ever seen like the heroes of a movie lose besides Star Wars? You know, have you?
I was happy when Thanos
Seven.
won.
Oh,
The movie
then-
Seven.
the movie Seven. Oh, right, with the girl in the head box.
Yeah. Pepper
Alright,
Potts.
stay on topic.
Okay. Oh, wait. Oh no, my phone. Okay. And then yeah, that scene was just crazy. Then Star-Lord freaking ruined it when he hit him in the face. And I had a realization after watching Infinity War again. What if Doctor Strange's plan was just holding Thanos down with all the other Avengers, you know? I don't know why, I just feel like Doctor Strange's plan was a lot smaller than people actually think it is.
You know how terrible of a movie that would turn out to be if that out of all the things, oh, we just need to hold Thanos down. There was no other way. Now we're all dead.
I feel like because I don't think Doctor Strange can see past his death. Like the Ancient One, she can see past her death. So maybe he can. I don't know. Because I do feel like they are
You're
dead.
complicating things.
Yeah, I am. Sorry. But yeah, I really don't feel like Doctor Strange's plan is going to be like a big thing in Endgame. I don't know why. I just
Okay,
don't.
you're really complicated. We'll get on. Okay.
I just don't. And 10 out of 10. One of my favorite movies ever. It's the best MCU movie. And yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Alright, sounds good. Alright, Cam, you're up.
Quote, I saw Infinity War. It depressed me. End quote. That was all I had to say about the movie.
Same.
Rating?
But in all honesty, there's still more since you guys went all long-winded and stuff. I saw this movie right after it came out, like probably days after it came out. I actually saw this movie with my dad, like I usually see some comic movies with, and I had a lot of fun with it. Even though it has one of the bigger downer endings in film history, it earns its distinction of being one of the best movies ever made. Like the interactions between every character in the movie, even though they've probably never interacted with one another in a bunch of the MCU movies, some, not all, they bounce off each other and they interact with each other quite well. But the real show stealer is Josh Brolin as Thanos. He's going to go down in history as one of the greatest villains in not only movie history but in history in general.
Damn right.
It's like you kind of want to root for the guy. It's like, oh wow, he's actually might just do it. Go get him. Oh shit, no wait, he's gonna do it. Oh god, he did it. The snap is going to go down in history as one of the most iconic moments in film history. Even it's probably going to be bigger than Luke, I Am Your Father, or bigger than the singing of Titanic. It's going to be up there. It's earned. It's what is the how much money did it make last year? $2 billion. It's earned its distinction of being one of the highest grossing films ever made. It's earned its distinction of being the highest grossing film of last year. Just for seeing, are they going to win or are they going to lose? They lose. I'm basically going into this as a casual fan's perspective. What else can I say about this movie that hasn't been said by all four of these guys in here? The rating is 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. All right, sounds good. So with that, let me calculate the official score. And
wait,
the score
10 out of 10.
It's 9.6 out of 10. So our average score for W.M.S.T.
Underrated.
For Avengers Infinity War is
Yeah, that's good. I'll take that.
9.6 out of 10.
What was Shawn's
Underrated.
score? I didn't hear Shawn's score.
9.7.
9.7.
Wait, can I add something?
Alright, go ahead quickly.
You should really see a movie like this on opening night, because I saw it on opening night with my cousin, and it was so fun. There were so many people there.
Already.
Like they were wearing like Marvel shirts. Some guy had an Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, Shawn said this already.
I already said it.
Oh well, this is just my experience, you know.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. Weirdly, I kind of felt at home. I don't know why. Like really.
in a movie theater.
Yeah, when I saw all those people, like, wow, there are more people, like, even more people who like the same stuff I do. I felt the same way when I went to my first wrestling event back in Survivor Series of 2013 when I saw Punk wrestle one of his last matches. Cool.
I wish I saw Punk.
Yeah.
What's the scene?
So,
yeah,
Punk left at my Raw.
Also, I am going to cosplay for Endgame.
Oh my god, we're getting so off track.
Yeah.
I'm totally cosplaying for Endgame. I will wear something.
Sounds good.
What did you say?
That guy.
What?
You're totally contemplating on wearing a condom when?
No, I'm going to cosplay. I dress up and go to the movie theater.
You're going to be a cosplay condom?
No.
Alright.
I'm gonna.
You should always wear a condom. Safe sex, man. Safe sex.
I'm gonna
Bro,
cosplay as someone.
None of us have had sex.
Okay, next topic.
No matter if it's a boy on boy, boy on girl, safe
What the
sex.
Girl on girl.
We're in the Endgame
That's
now.
girl don't need condoms, you dumbass.
We're in the end game. Alright, counter. This
We're
is
in the Endgame.
Don't be safe, damn it.
We're in the end game.
We're in the
Endgame now, please.
Wait, shut the fuck up.
Go.
Alright. So one thing to add before we exit out of our Infinity War block, Shawn and I actually formed this group last year on April 22nd out of sheer excitement for Avengers Infinity War. So
the founders.
yeah, basically Avengers Infinity War is the reason we're all here together right now. So
Avengers
just think about that. Yeah, because we were so hyped, we just formed this group. to talk about it on Instagram.
It was first just me and him talking about it. Then we added Ziggler. Then we're like, added you, Tyler. Then we added Cam. And then we're like, we need one more person. Let's just throw Hound.
So yeah, this movie even impacted this group. So that's pretty much the reason we're here.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much. This has been such a wild ride for the past year. Talking to you guys.
And now it's been since our last episode.
Oh?
Yeah, before
the
Endgame.
last episode. Bye-bye, audience.
We're all getting snapped. There's only going to be 3 of us next week.
No, I'm gonna
trust me. I feel bad for the people sucking bananas when the snap happened.
What?
Because it was with the dust in their mouths.
What? Bananas?
Did this motherfucker just say that?
Bananas have to do with this.
It's bananas.
Alright, I stopped it.
Like,
No,
who sucks bananas?
I muted him.
You eat a banana. You don't suck a banana. It's not a dick.
Sucking that
I mean, different if you're sucking some guy's dick and then he goes to ask like, what the fuck?
Unless you roll that way, you're.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is underrated. We should definitely have
Can we get back on track, please?
Yes, let's talk about
the condoms and then we go into sucking bananas.
Hound can go and pull his plug while he sucks a banana.
Alright, let's talk about our next topic. Alright, let's get to our next topic. Usually we talk about sports or some other news, but this week it's all about Avengers Endgame. We're so excited. We're going to do a discussion this week. We're going to talk about everything Endgame. So the first topic, I just want to start the discussion off by asking everybody what's their general thoughts going into Endgame and what are their quick predictions for the movie. So we'll start with Tyler. Go ahead.
Oh boy, my quick predictions. I'm going into this movie blind like most of us. I just a prediction I got. I really hope time travel is actually happening. I hope they go back to the Battle of New York. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And something I really hope they do is or don't do, I guess, is to not kill Thanos, just because he's one of the best characters they ever made. I don't want them killing him off. I don't know what they do with him, because you can't just throw him in a prison or something, obviously.
And throw him in county jail.
Yeah, throw him in jail.
Unless you see that.
Throw him in the negative zone.
Throw him in the
Goes to
Thanos
jail.
chapter. But
lock him in a Thanos car.
Trap him in the quantum realm.
Thanos car. The quantum realm. That's not a bad idea, but
come to bargain.
Well, thank you.
What the fuck did they do with Dormammu? Dormammu was more powerful than Thanos. What the fuck?
Yeah, and Doctor Strange is gone now, so it's not like the time loop is still happening. But yeah, that's really the only predictions I got. Just don't kill Thanos and whatever I said, the Battle of New York.
Sounds good, yeah. And personally for me, I have not put much thought into what's going to happen in this movie. It's one of those things where, you know what, I saw half the movie basically because Infinity War was the first half. Endgame, this is the end. So I'm just going into it thinking, you know what, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collected. Let's just enjoy the ride. So I agree with you, just going in blind and enjoying. Alright, so Ziggler, go ahead. Give me your quick thoughts and quick predictions.
I am not calm and cool and collected. I'm nervous as fuck, Syed.
Me too.
I mean, I don't know how you can be calm, cool, and collected. I'm scared.
Cool, calm, and collective, goddamn.
What?
You got it in the wrong order. It sounds cringy.
That's fine.
What the fuck, dude? I
pretty much
got it
that,
wrong.
Wrong
There's no order.
It's like needles and pens.
Pins and needles. I always heard it as pins and needles, not needles and pins.
Yeah, it's different for
Alright,
everyone. Yeah, go ahead.
Track.
Alright, fuck you, Shawn. But yeah, I'm scared as fuck for this movie. I mean, I believe we've only seen the first. I believe that the Russos only put the first half hour into the TV spots and trailers. I don't think we've seen the next 2.5 hours in the movie, and I'm happy about that. I'm just scared as hell that they're gonna kill off. I believe my prediction they might kill off the Holy Trinity in Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. I believe that either one of them or all three of them is gonna die. But yeah, and I'm just really fucking scared for this movie.
I think Cap is gonna die.
Yeah, I know. He probably is. So is Tony. Fuck.
Hopefully not.
I don't want Tony to die.
But yeah, I'm just I cannot wait for this movie. I can't believe in 7 days I'm gonna be in the theater watching it for the second time with Shawn.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be an awesome.
To think of that.
It's gonna be an awesome day. I can't wait.
You know what they say? Expect the worst, hope for the best.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. This is an event. It's not a movie, like you said. So.
Right.
Yeah.
An event. All right, Shawn. What are your quick thoughts and predictions?
Main thoughts are very nerve-wracking, not just for the movie, but just for loudmouth people. So I'm gonna be walking into the theater with my headphones on, like I did last year, and
you know we're the first showing, right?
Still, people, Korea,
still.
Korea.
Okay, Koreans come. Koreans come to Florida.
Here come the Australians.
No, there's always leaks and stuff, but
yeah, Koreans come to Florida. Hey, you, white boy.
Online.
Let's not be racist here. Let's not.
Yeah.
Leave that to the other people's podcast.
But not just that, but I'm nervous because I don't want to see. I mean, even though I'm a big Thanos fan, I don't want a lot of people to die. I do not want Tony to die, even though I think he should, and I don't want Cap to die, even though he should. But and like Tyler said, I really don't want them to kill Thanos because you can't go from. Because it's just it's too cliche. So powerful, might lose, and then the heroes always wind up killing or defeating the villain by killing him. They should not kill him. They should just do something. Maybe you have the Celestials. Maybe you have Galactus or whatever. I mean, I don't know, but just someone.
Dude, no, Galactus is no.
It's a prediction. You get
it's a shit prediction.
Okay. You get maybe the Celestials or the Eternals or someone really big, imprison him in something, or something really just do not kill him. You cannot kill him like that. If they do, I see Tony killing him because it started with Iron Man. It's going to end with Iron Man. Tony Stark is the strongest Avenger. All right, next.
Okay then.
Sounds good.
You guys think Thanos will make an appearance?
It's not April Fool's Day anymore.
Oh, wow, you're original. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, what was the question, Tyler?
Do you guys think Thanos will make an appearance at all after Endgame?
Thanos is in the movie, dumbass.
No, he's talking about after Endgame.
There's a chance. You're so goddamn stupid, Shawn.
Yeah, God, Shawn.
There's a chance, but I feel like we gotta see the movie to fully get a scope of.
He's an Avenger.
Yeah.
He's such a good character. Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
A Thanos prelude, or not prelude,
a prequel.
Prequel?
Yeah,
Thanos trilogy.
Instead of a fucking Black Widow movie, let's have a child or teenage Thanos movie.
A teenage Thanos?
Why? What? Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
So I'm gonna kill half the universe.
No, fuck off. Haven't you read the comics where how he grows up and stuff is very shocking. His mother, the second she looked at him, she tried to kill him, and his friends were eaten by lizards, and he just murdered half the lizard population. I'm not even joking. And
I feel like this would be too much CGI.
I would love it. I would love a teenage Thanos.
Maybe a Disney
Plus
series.
Teenage Thanos.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no
Thanos.
from me, dog.
Bro, anything with Thanos in it, I'm doing.
Sounds good. Alright, Cam, what are your thoughts and quick predictions?
I'm literally going into this thing bird boxed.
What?
I haven't been blindfolded, stupid.
Oh,
The movie Bird Box. You haven't seen it?
I need some blurred hawks or something.
Bird. What? That's not even a word.
I don't know.
Alright, continue, Cam.
Box with Sandra Bullock.
I-
Fuck you. I love Sandra Bullock.
Sandy Bullock.
I haven't been paying attention to any of the commercials for it. it's kind of, I'm mainly just thinking, oh, they haven't shown Thanos in some of these. Like, it's got kind of like those classic cliche of you have to see the movie to see the monster or to see the villain type of thing. As for people that die, it's either Thor, Cap, or Iron Man, or they do the unthinkable and have Thanos get killed off. Or, as a little bit of fan service, Ant-Man goes up his bum and kills him.
Or Thanos wins.
Or Thanos wins again. It's like, haha, fuck you. You paid all my money. You
I
paid all
would
this money to
literally
see
love that so
see them
much.
lose again.
That would be amazing, honestly.
Yes,
Yeah, that-
that sounds pretty plausible, to be honest.
If Thanos wins, then what's gonna be like? How would if just a hypothetical question, if Thanos were to win, what would happen?
I'm gonna
Like,
cheer.
what would he
I
do?
would
What would he
cheer. I
do
would
again?
literally stand up
No,
and
I'm not
cheer.
talking about what you would do. I'm talking about what Thanos would do to win again, because he already won.
Just kill all the Avengers. Snap again.
So the
Keep snapping
MCU,
his fingers.
the MCU is done then.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
The
All the
Endgame.
future movies are
Keep
canceled.
snapping.
Spider-Man
Endgame.
Endgame movie.
yeah, Thanos is definitely not gonna win this time.
No, you
Yeah,
never know.
they can't
He
do
could kill the
that.
Avengers.
They literally have a Spider-Man movie coming out 2 months after this movie's coming out.
He could kill the Avengers and then somebody kills him.
But wasn't that probably before the fact? That
He'll kill-
Spider-Man movie?
We don't know yet, so.
The original 6
don't know.
Avengers wield all 6 Infinity Stones
So,
combined
okay.
together, kill Thanos, and then they all die.
Okay, before I get to Hound, I'll
Imagine
just,
if you won though.
yeah, before I get to Hound, let me just clear something up about the Spider-Man movie. Apparently, it is taking place after Endgame. Unfortunately, that's what the producers confirmed. So do with it.
Unfortunately, what does Kevin
Well, 'cause
Feige
here's the
said
thing, we can-
years ago?
Hound, shut up.
Well,
I don't.
here's the thing.
No,
Because this is a post in Avengers Endgame world, so it's one of those things where you kind of have to think what happened, what's going on, that kind of thing.
yeah, Kevin Feige said like years ago, Spider-Man 2 would be like, will take your hand like into the like I don't know, like it's supposed to. It's gonna start off like minutes after Endgame, and it's gonna be like an important movie, and it's like the first one of Phase 4. So I mean, I don't know why.
really
No,
wish they waited for that movie.
it's a pre-Infinity War movie, duh.
Nah.
It should be
I-
in reality, but
it
it's
should
not.
be, honestly.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what that says about the ending of
It takes place
Endgame,
in the
but
Soul Stone.
I don't know. All right, Hound, go ahead. Quick prediction and thoughts on Endgame.
Okay, so I just want to say this is not a spoiler. This is just what I've gathered from multiple trailers and other items. And
Fuck, he read the leak.
no, I have
So
not.
this is
No, I
just
have
the
not.
trailers.
No, I have not. I've seen the trailers. I've seen 1 or 2 TV spots here and there. I do not have someone in Disney telling
Okay,
me.
we get it. Just fucking
He's a
say
leak.
it.
I just want
got
to
it.
say. Okay. The Avengers go on different missions through time to find all 6 Infinity Stones through the quantum realm, and then maybe they make their own Infinity Gauntlet that either Stark, Nebula,
Yes.
or Thor is going to wield
Stark.
it and somehow fix everything. That's my
Stark.
theory.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
Also, if that happens, wow, I can't believe it.
How does another gauntlet undo the snap?
You don't snap,
I don't know.
you clap.
You
I like that.
do you need 2
No, you
gauntlets to clap?
whistle.
Do you need
Like
like
whistle,
2 gauntlets
and
to
then it
clap?
has the
You need
effect.
one
The
on each hand.
stones, listen, the stones are controlled by Thanos himself, because you see how he reacts, his body reacts. So when he snaps his fingers, they're not programmed to when they snap, to, like, he's thinking, snap, alright, kill off half of the humanity. So when he snaps, all of them are used together. The Power Stone kills you, Space Stone transfers your dust, Reality Stone turns you to dust, Time Stone doesn't swiftly matter. The Soul
Also,
Stone finds out
fun
who,
fact.
and the Mind Stone just is there.
Fun fact:
There.
the Mind Stone is never used in Infinity War.
Yes, it is, you dumbass.
No, when?
Is it? No.
actually
Yes,
used.
when Thor shoots a lightning and Thanos shoots a beam out of the gauntlet, it's
Yeah,
used.
with all the stones. I think.
But
He's
so
using
you
all his power from all the stones to stop Stormbreaker, but it didn't work as Thor's the strongest Avenger.
Thor's the
well,
strongest.
if it was
Was
if
it all the
Tony,
stones?
if it was Tony, he
Also-
would have killed him.
Tony lost against Four Stones.
Also, Thanos.
Tony
used the
literally
Soul
gave
Stone.
Thanos a paper cut.
Yeah.
And
Also,
and then
Thanos used the Soul Stone against Doctor Strange when he had all that like super bright like ropes on his arms and stuff. That's when he used the Soul Stone.
wow,
Oh,
thanks for
wow.
the information. Now next
Yeah.
topic.
Good info. Yeah. Next topic. That's a good segue. All right. Yeah. All right. So my
Always
next
the
question
last
to you
time I
guys
get
is, now this is gonna be a culmination of 11 years of storytelling. Now I want to ask you guys, what has the MCU meant to you over the years, and what does it mean to you now? I mean, for me personally, uh, like seeing the characters grow and just seeing how the universe has evolved has just been great. And shout out to Marvel. You know, like they actually took a concept of a shared universe and actually did it successfully. Like no other studio has been able to do that. Like people are gonna write about it and write about this moment in history books. They're gonna break it down. Film producers in the futures are gonna look at this and they'll be like, "How did Kevin Feige do it?" I mean, I personally hope he writes a book about it because the man is a genius. So, but yeah, that's quickly what I think. Just the sheer scope of this whole universe and how they were able to culminate 10 years of storytelling it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right. I want to get Tyler's answer now. Go ahead, Tyler.
I just think the MCU is like the best saga, I guess we're calling it, like ever. We compare it to Star Wars now. It's like our Star Wars. Just you got your Empire, which is Infinity War now, and you're gonna get a hopefully great ending with Endgame. But I just remember the moment I wanted to get into these movies. It was after the first Civil War trailer came out. I watched it, not being a fan. I just saw all these characters. I'm like, I saw Twitter going off about it, and I'm just like, man, I need to get into these movies. And so I just watched all of them. I saw Civil War in the theaters, and I just liked it a lot. And I just really wish I started watching it from the beginning, just because watching it from 2008 on, just growing up with every character, it's insane. You just bring all these franchises together, and it just works. Like Joss Whedon in the first Avengers, we all thought, or most people thought, because I remember I saw that in the theaters. 6 like huge actors. It's not going to work. And now we just got how many were in Infinity War? Like 20, 30, and no one even like questioned it. Out of all of the movies, they're like all rewatchable, maybe except for the 2 obvious ones, Hulk and Thor 2. But it's the best series of movies to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, very true. All right, and Cam, go ahead.
The MCU is one of those things that I've actually grown up with. Like, I remember the first movie that I actually saw was the Edward Norton Hulk movie. And ever since then, I've always been trying to watch just about all of them in theaters. I may not have seen all of them, I may not have liked all of them, but overall, I've enjoyed just about all of them. They've all had great actors and actresses, great moments, great action, great comedy. Ton of hard work and dedication went into these movies. Now, unlike you guys, I don't really read the comics that much. My father, on the other hand, is a huge comic book nut. And it pretty much is like one of those intertwining type things. He grows up with the comics, I grow up with the movies. It's like one of those things that it intertwines with our lives, and we bond together with them. And to see 11 years worth of work and dedication and millions and billions of dollars made into just these 2 particular movies, Infinity War and the Endgame, it's quite baffling. some film franchises don't make it as far as 10 movies at best. There have been movies and franchises that have died past the 5th or 6th movie. There are some franchises that have gone on to that are still going on today that are still being milked, like a Star Wars or a Fast and the Furious franchise. But the MCU will always triumph over all of them just for name value, just for how recognizable these characters are, name value, and how huge they are. Sure, it's a comic book movie, but it's more than that.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah, that's very true. The bonding, I really like that when you said that. It's very true. All right, Hound, go ahead.
So, I've never, like, in my life, I never really knew about Marvel. I never really knew a lot of things about Marvel, except maybe Spider-Man, and that was, like, it until, like, 2014, 2013 or whatever, where, like, I saw a commercial for an X-Men movie. Then one day I went to the movie theater to watch some movie, I forgot, and I saw a poster of Iron Man 3. And that, like, to be honest, I was like, wow, that looks kind of cool. Even though I grew up never really liking the character for some reason, like, it made me want to watch the movie and it made me, like, want to get into the MCU because I thought it was, like, a cool, like, thing, but I ended up not watching Iron Man 3 and I ended up watching Avengers 2, which I loved, and then that just kind of brought
Wait,
me
you saw the poster. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you saw a poster for Avengers 3.
No, I saw a poster for Iron Man 3.
I mean Iron Man 3, but you wound up going to just go see Avengers 2 in the
Avengers
theater.
2.
Yeah, I just never, like, got around to actually going and buying a ticket to Iron Man 3.
Oh, I thought you said, like, oh, my bad. I thought you meant, like, you saw the poster for Iron Man 3 in the movie theater, but instead you went in the movie theater to go see Avengers 2. I'm like, that timeline is different.
No, like, Iron Man's the one who kind of got me into the MCU, if you really think about it.
He used a time stone and changed it up.
It's a good
and
one.
now, like, most of my life kind of revolves around the MCU. Like, I love it. I watch the movies constantly. I'm always looking for, like, stuff to, like, delve myself deeper into the Marvel universe. Like, I started reading the new comics. Like, as soon as I heard Marvel was going to do, like, a fresh start for the comics, I started buying them. I have the first, like, Iron Man one. I have Iron Man 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have Doctor Strange 2. I have other ones. I have Avengers, Spider-Man. And I've been reading them, even though it's been hard to catch up. But, like, I've actually started reading comics because of the MCU movies. And I've collected some of, like, the figures. I don't know what they're called. I only have, like, a Spider-Man. I have, like,
They're
a
called
cap.
figures.
Yeah, but, like, there's, like, a whole name.
Funko
I think it's a
Pops.
No, not Funko. The Marvel Legends. That's what they're called. They're like 6-inch figures. I have like a couple. I have a Spider-Man one, Iron Man, Cap, and I think I have like Infinity War Thor with a Stormbreaker. Looks pretty cool. And yeah, like Marvel really did like change my life to the point where like sometimes I'm like I'd rather get like an MCU thing rather than a WWE thing. So.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Sounds
especially
good.
from WWE to the MCU.
I mean, I still love WWE.
Yeah.
I still watch wrestling on the weekly. You know, like wrestling's my life. Wrestling is in my blood. You know.
That's not safe. You should get that checked out.
All right, Shawn, go ahead.
Before we go on to the next topic, I wanted to add one more thing. Shawn, go ahead also.
Wait, you go first, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. You can finish your thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cam.
Another thing that I actually wanted to mention about the MCU is that it also showcases the evolution of the comic book movie and the superhero movie in general.
True.
Like, cast your mind back to the 90s and even the 80s in general. Well, not the 80s because there weren't that many superhero movies, but superhero movies and comic movies were mainly just frowned upon and laughed at. Like, this is a good movie. They're mainly butchered and not that good. In the 2000s, sure, you had your good ones like your Raimi Spider-Man and even The Dark Knight, but this pretty much would showcase a hot streak of pure quality films. like it would and also evolve CGI to something that can actually be worth a damn and actually be really good.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, can't disagree. Shawn, go ahead.
Well, the MCU is like such a big part of my life. Like even though wrestling is what brought like me and Ziggler together, like the MCU like right now is what makes our like brotherhood like go around in some ways. Like not just that, but like it's what we like relate the most to on now. It's like I remember when Iron Man 1 first released, and I always loved Marvel for like X-Men and Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. I shaved my head to be like the Thing in Fantastic Four, so I always loved Marvel. And when these new phases of the MCU started coming out, like when I first saw Iron Man 1, it was instantly hooked. And I was 8, and I was like, I remember thinking, man, this guy's a good fucking actor. And RDJ just totally, his portrayal as Iron Man is such like a big influence on my life. I try to like, Robert Downey and also like Tony Stark are like inspirations in some ways for my life, because in middle school and high school I didn't have that many friends, but I had Marvel to look at, and I always had like just my movies, and I had these guys I love, and they're always there for me, and just the whole and I remember when Hulk came out, Hulk 2, my dad said, "I'll get you tickets if you could ride your bike around the damn cul-de-sac and without the training wheels." And I fucking did it, and that kept catapulting me to more movies and more movies. And like even one of the first movies me and Ziggler ever saw together was Iron Man 3. Like it's such a and even me and my dad relate so much and more to like, oh, you want to go see Black Panther or Avengers or Infinity War? Yeah. It's like it's always around this time for his birthday, so now that helps relate both of us together. The MCU brings people together like no other, and it's just and it has such a special place in my heart, because Marvel is like at first it was wrestling, but since I kind of moved on a little bit, like Marvel has now taken like 100% of my life completely, and to the point where like sometimes at work, like when I'm cooking food, you'll hear me. People will go, "Why are you quoting Thanos?" When I just be like, "I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right." Like it just brings out such hard emotion for you, and it's one of the things I'm most grateful for in my life, that I'm able to love these movies. When people say they don't like Marvel movies, it's like, well, I don't want to ever talk to you. Like it's such an amazing thing, and it's like, thank you, Marvel, for everything.
Yeah, that true. All right,
one more thing I'd like to say.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I compared it to Star Wars. The thing with Star Wars, you get one movie, like in the main saga, every 3 years, 3 for the first few ones. For the MCU, you get 3 solid movies a year. So that just makes it a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to MCU's deep roster of really good characters, which Star Wars just doesn't have. So they can't sustain the pumping out one movie per year. Even one movie per year is like hard for them. But MCU has got like this whole, assembly line of movies coming out that are so good. It's crazy. Like it's gotta be something you gotta marvel at. No pun intended, but of course intended. All right, Ziggler, go ahead.
The MCU has meant so much to me, and it definitely has had a big impact on my life, a big part of my childhood. The first comic book I ever picked up was The Incredible Hulk, and I still remember watching and loving the first Iron Man movie and The Incredible Hulk in 2008. fast forward 11 years later, growing up with these characters now on screen and loving these characters even more, it's one of the most important things to me right now. Marvel, I fucking love it. It's right up there with Game of Thrones, UFC, and wrestling. But right now, the MCU has taken the driver's seat while Game of Thrones is in the passenger seat, and the rest are just in the back seat, just chilling, I guess. But right now, the main thing is for me is MCU and Game of Thrones. I remember going to Blockbuster, renting Thor and Captain America: The First Avenger, and just watching it on my TV in the living room. The first MCU film I saw in theaters was Marvel's The Avengers, and it still is one of my favorite movies of all time. And the first MCU movie that Shawn and I saw together was Iron Man 3. And we try to see every one ever since, but we missed a few, like Guardians 2 and Civil War and Age of Ultron.
Yeah, saw Guardians without me.
Hey, I saw Guardians 2. We saw Guardians 1 together. Remember that?
Yeah, and I saw Civil War without you.
Yeah, because you're being a cunt. Anyways, but yeah, the MCU has brought me and Shawn, like, it made our brotherhood much stronger, and the MCU brought this podcast and the six of us stronger as friends. So I'm glad about that.
Even though wrestling got us, it was the starting for us. Like MCU is like the backbone.
Yeah, MCU is like the core front right now.
Yeah, can't disagree
The
with that.
MCU was like wrestling, but with full suit costumes. You know?
No, don't even compare the MCU to wrestling, man.
Can't compare movies to television.
I mean,
really.
They're both fighting villains in suits,
you're complicating.
and they both have great storytellings. Sometimes they're duds. Sometimes they're really great. You know?
Well,
alright, let's just continue with the next topic.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Yeah, let's just move on now.
Some people move on, but we will.
But not us.
Not us. All right.
No, yes,
that's true.
we want to move on
Whatever it takes.
to the next topic.
Yeah, but yeah, in this case, we will move on. So my next question to you guys is, I know it's been a big topic of discussion, who's finally gonna defeat Thanos? Like, we really don't know what's gonna happen in the movie. Like, anything can happen. Like, like the scenarios can be crazy. We really don't know what's gonna happen, but theoretically, if there was someone that the Russos and Feige were to choose to beat Thanos, hypothetically, who do you want?
Marvel, obviously.
Well, hold on.
Yeah,
wait a minute. I'm gonna ask you guys though.
Let's not get Syed started on Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So my question to you guys is, who do you think should beat Thanos hypothetically, and why? And of
Captain
course,
Marvel discussion.
well, Shawn just brought it up, and I'll just say this: if it's Captain Marvel, I'm gonna be so mad. Anybody but Captain Marvel. Like, if Groot is the one to beat Thanos, I'll be like, yeah, I'm good.
Groot is dead.
I want
to say this. I want to say, like Syed said in the group chat, he will stop watching MCU movies if Captain Marvel beats Thanos. And I want to hold that to a T. I want to hold that.
Hold it. Yes.
Hold that to a T.
Here's what I'm hoping that the Russos would do. The Russos always make superheroes look badass. Like, they made Black Panther look the most badass he's ever looked. He didn't even look that good in his own movie. So I'm hoping they make Captain Marvel look so badass, because she was like in her own solo movie, but the Russos now have her. So hopefully they're gonna, make her so goddamn badass, and maybe during it, Syed will finally like, all right, yeah, you can kill Thanos.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I trust Russos to do a good job with the character, but I really hate Brie Larson.
Russos are not
I'll just say that.
Russos are smart. We all know.
Yo, I saw Unicorn Store today. It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, we're not talking about it.
Irrelevant. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Why don't you like Brie?
That's like, hey, Endgame. Oh yeah, look, I
believe that's rotten.
On. Like,
yeah, what? That's for another topic. But yeah, for me personally, though, I would be okay with either Thor, Captain America, or Tony killing Thanos. I feel like those three are the heart, soul, and of the MCU, and they deserve to, go out on top if, granted, if this is their last movie. Without these three, I feel like MCU it's not going to be the same anymore. These three are MCU. Without them, it's way different. Without them, they are truly the faces of the MCU. So I would be okay with either of the three being Thanos. All right, so I'm gonna go ask Ziggler now. I want you to answer the question now.
On who should or will kill Thanos?
Should, in your opinion.
Alright, so this is what I think is going to happen. Captain America will sacrifice himself for Tony Stark. And Cap is going to die by the hands of Thanos, probably right in front of Tony. And Tony will be the one to kill Thanos. I don't know if he will... What?
I never expected you to say that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things. But yeah, I don't know if Tony's gonna wield the gauntlet or not, but I believe Tony will kill him. Or Tony and Cap might kill him together, I don't know, but I believe somehow that Captain America is gonna sacrifice his life for Tony. And, let's face it, Tony does deserve it. I mean, he was the one to start the MCU, and Thanos has been...
I love you so much.
Okay. Yeah, Tony deserves it. Thanos has been in his head since 2012, since the Avengers, since the attack on New York, and Thanos is the reason that Tony can't sleep at night, and he's the reason that he has panic attacks. And if Disney had some balls, Thanos would be the reason that he would of his drinking binge. But Disney doesn't want to do that. But yeah, because of Tony's character arc and because he's the most popular Avenger, I believe he will give the final death blow to Thanos.
Did you watch the video I told you to? Because now I love you so much.
No, I don't watch shitty videos by Looper.
Sounds good. All right, and Tyler, you're up. What's up? Go ahead.
I think before I say who I think should get the killing blow, I want the final battle to just be the original 6 Avengers against Thanos. I don't want Captain Marvel. We don't want another Justice League. But I feel like the last fight with just the original Avengers would be amazing. As for who is getting the killing blow, I want there to be maybe like a team shot, kind of like how Ultron ended with Vision, Stark, and Thor. I want Thor, Cap, and Tony to all do something to Thanos. And the one to get the killing blow, just like how you guys said, I think it should be Tony. He's the guy that started it all. He's the not the first Avenger, that's a bad line. But he's the one that started it all. He started this entire franchise.
Cap was the first Avenger.
Yeah, that's why I stopped myself.
Technically, Captain Marvel was called Carol the Avenger. So.
No, dude.
She's not an Avenger.
She was not the first Avenger. Captain America was in 1940s Nazi Germany.
The Avenger Danvers.
But like I said earlier,
redacted.
Yeah,
if you saw
that's retcon.
Call sign was Carol Avenger.
Hound, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, you stupid cunt.
What?
I saw the movie.
I saw the movie too! Does that make me an expert? No, go to hell!
I paid attention to the movie.
I paid attention too while Shawn was doing
right.
We all saw the movie.
We all saw the movie, we all saw that shitty Avenger little thing, and no, Captain America is the first Avenger. It says so in the title of his movie.
Why was everyone talking shit about me in the chat about Tony winning if everyone's saying it now? Y'all hypocrites.
Because you said Tony's the strongest Avenger.
Yeah, you said Tony's the strongest Avenger.
Yeah, no, he's
not.
In what universe is Tony the strongest Avenger? None. Zero. Even in the multiverse.
The universe where Tony is the strongest Avenger is when he's the only Avenger.
If Tony's the strongest Avenger, in yours, you're a virgin till you're 60.
What? I didn't hear what you said. Did you guys hear what he said?
No.
I heard virgin when you're 60. That's all I heard.
What the fuck?
Shawn's gonna be a virgin when he's 60. Is that what I heard?
No,
I'm sorry,
I said
Shawn.
If you keep
That
on
sucks.
thinking Tony's the strongest Avenger, then yeah.
I said in Hound, he's a virgin until he's 60.
Hound is a virgin until he's Hound. You are gonna stay a virgin for a long time.
Now,
I love for a brief minute we're like, Hound is a virgin?
We get
what
to
the
me.
fuck?
How did we get to this
Yeah.
point?
Can we talk
Yeah.
about
Oh wait, Tyler, you gotta finish up your point.
Where
Yeah,
did I leave
I
off? Where was I? Hold on, let me look. But yeah, I think Tony should get the final blow. I don't think, like I said earlier, I don't think they should kill him. I don't know what they're going to do with him. But another thing I hope is that Nebula gets some hits in. Obviously won't do much, but after that one scene in Guardians 2, I feel like she should get something in there too. But not Captain Marvel, please. That's all I hope.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, Cam, go ahead.
I only have 5 people in mind. Captain Marvel, if that's the route that they're going to go, I hope they don't do it. Because, like, why should she do it? Sure, she has the power of an Infinity Stone, but she shouldn't be the one to deliver the final death blow. There's Thor, finish what he started. Captain America. There's Iron Man, of course. I started this, I finished this. And, of course, just for the memes, Ant-Man.
Yeah. And who do you think should be the one, in your opinion, who you would be satisfied with the most?
Either Thor or Iron Man.
Yeah.
Could you guys imagine if it's someone like War Machine?
Oh man, that's just War Machine.
Yeah,
Stand up.
Yeah,
That'd
War
be
Machine.
a
no, that kills them.
War Machine story.
What if it's Korg? Korg and Meek.
Korg and Meek come back. We did not mention any of their Avengers.
Like, hi, new Doug.
Wait,
Is Happy Hogan still alive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Happy Hogan delivers the
Happy.
death blow to Thanos.
Killing
Bet.
them.
Over with the car.
Bet.
Hey, I mean,
Wong,
he was the,
Wong kills them.
I mean, he was the
Wong
director
comes
for the
back.
first.
Would
Iron
y'all
Man
rather
movie.
have Happy Hogan or Captain Marvel deliver the death blow?
Happy Hogan?
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Happy
kill
Hogan.
him.
Happy Hogan.
So he can get off his lazy bum and do something.
Yeah.
Wong to do it.
I mean, Jon Favreau was the first one to direct an MCU movie, so hey, why not do the honors?
Who would be the least satisfying to kill or defeat Thanos?
Captain
no,
Marvel
we'll
for me
besides-
for sure.
Okay, besides Captain Marvel.
Hulk.
Hawkeye.
Pepper Potts.
Man, Hawkeye should do it. It's like,
No, he
I
should.
told y'all you needed me.
Bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yo, could you imagine Black Widow actually kills Thanos with her fucking taser guns?
Yeah.
You know,
training with
you
his
know
son.
who really should deliver the final death blow to Thanos?
Tony
Who?
Stark.
Stan motherfucking Lee.
Hey.
Oh, the final cameo.
Comes
I mean,
down
The
Would you?
final
I mean,
cameo.
I would be satisfied. Would you guys be
Right,
satisfied with that?
true, yeah.
Imagine?
No, I
He
would not.
descends from heaven and just
Stan
ends
Lee,
Thanos.
if Stan Lee wields the gauntlet and fucking kills Thanos, I'd be so satisfied.
No, I
Yo,
got
that
it.
would be
It's
awesome.
gonna be flying Carrie
I mean,
Fisher.
fuck it, use CGI for it. I don't care. Make it happen.
He said it's going to be
Excelsior,
Superman,
bitches.
Carrie Fisher.
Flying Carrie Fisher.
Hound is
Coming in.
make an appearance in
Swooping the
Endgame.
gauntlet
Give
off.
us the finger, pull down his pants, and get fucked.
Oh my god, what the hell?
What the
Pull
fuck?
down his pants? You
How
want to
did
pull
this
down
turn
Hound's
into
pants?
You know what? What the
Sean's gonna pull down Hound's
What
pants.
did I
What the
just
hell?
listen to?
What the
Okay, you're
fuck?
really mixing my words.
All I heard was I was gonna. All I heard was. And
All I heard was pants and fuck.
I heard
Say
was.
what?
All I heard was Shawn said, and I quote, "I'm gonna pull down Hound's pants." I was like, "What the fuck?"
What the fuck?
Alright, Hound, go ahead.
Alright, so I think the only one who really deserves to kill Thanos is Nebula. 100% Nebula. That's his daughter, and she suffered the most from the hands of Thanos. I mean, she's a robot now because of him and Gamora as well. and she's the reason she's been such a bitch in Guardians, and a little bitchy in Volume 2, but she tones that around a bit, and it was because of Thanos. Like, how perfect would it have been if Nebula was the one to end his reign, and after all the suffering she's gone to, you know. And
I mean, if Nebula was a more popular character, then yeah, sure. But
why else would Nebula still be alive? No other reason
because she didn't get snapped.
She's not
because she didn't get snapped. Yeah, that's why she's still alive.
50% chance.
No, there was a reason, like behind the scenes. There's a reason why they
what's
kept
the reason
alive.
why Rocket's still alive? What's the reason why Hawkeye's still alive? Tell me, Glenn.
Because it's the
What was
OG
the
Avengers, and
reason,
they want.
bitch?
Okay, let me finish. Also,
Rocket's an OG Avenger.
yeah.
Ant-Man's an OG Avenger.
All right, I'm pulling the plug on Hound.
What was the
Pull the plug.
reason?
What was the reason?
You didn't let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, and then also it would be really cool if like Nebula holds the gauntlet with just like how she did in the comics, and yeah. Also, Thor would be cool to kill Thanos. You know.
Yeah, very true.
I told y'all. Whoa.
Tony dies in space. He never gets back to Earth.
Nah, that would be anticlimactic.
I would laugh.
If you laughed in that, I would literally stand up and pour my drink on you, you whore.
If you did that, I'll throw you over the railing and watch you
And if
die.
you did that, we would just start fighting.
Yo, what the fuck?
like Gamora getting thrown off the cliff.
Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
gonna say catch him and put him in a
Miss
triangle.
throwing
chokehold.
Shane off the golf.
But instead of
Yeah,
getting a soul stone, I'll be getting a life sentence.
And I would lock you in a room in town.
Yo, what the
Then I'll commit suicide.
Jeez.
It got dark.
Too hilarious.
Actually, no, I'll kill
Let's
Hound
go.
first and then
Alright.
commit suicide.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, I want to die. Same. I want to watch Endgame.
Okay. Sorry. We gotta go to the next topic now. Alright. Alright, so my next question to you guys is, after Endgame, where would you guys like to see MCU headed? Now, we know officially the Fox deal was done, so we know X-Men and Fantastic Four are back with Marvel now. So quickly just give me some thoughts on where you would like to see the MCU go after Endgame. We'll go with Tyler first. Go ahead, Tyler.
I don't really have too many thoughts on it. I know I want to wait. Like, I want them to wait a few years, maybe like 3, 4, even 5 for the X-Men and the Fantastic Four to bring them in. But the one wish I really hope that actually happens is that
Feige said that it would be like a very long time until X-Men are the MCU.
Yeah, so I hope
exactly like
I
you
hope that
stated,
stays true.
Hound. Thank you.
They lie.
The one wish I do hope really happens is that Ryan Reynolds stays as Deadpool in the MCU. My ideal end credit scene for Endgame, which will not happen at all, will be Deadpool arriving at like the Marvel Studios or something like that.
What I miss?
Yeah, just something with like
what I
Deadpool
miss?
coming in. He's just opening like doors, a bright light appears, he just walks in. I don't know, something silly like that. That would be fun. I don't see it happening at all though. I just know the toughest thing for them will probably be finding a Wolverine, if they do bring in Wolverine. Just because Hugh Jackman was amazing, and replacing him, it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, very true. Alright, Cam, your thoughts?
I'm hoping that they can go in a direction to try and flesh out different characters rather than the usual go-to characters, like a Spider-Man, like a Black Widow. And with the Fox deal coming in, I'm hoping they can do more characters, like possibly merging with the X-Men universe.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And yeah, for me
that.
though, that's a great idea. Personally for me though, I would love to see X-Men eventually being introduced slowly through maybe another Avengers movie. I feel like they can build up to another Avengers movie probably by say 5 years from now when the new team, assuming again we don't know what happens in Endgame, but assuming that there's a new lineup of Avengers, hopefully it's something along the lines of X-Men versus Avengers, kind of like a Secret Wars storyline. I think that would be pretty cool to see on screen and would give them another really solid Avengers movie. That's pretty much all I've had. What all I'm thinking for Avengers right now, because it's a tricky spot to be in, because your main stars are going to be gone now. You're going to have to build from the ground up, basically. I mean, they have a pretty good foundation with Black Panther, Spider-Man, so I think that's going to be no problem for them. But it's going to be creatively challenging at this point because they will need to. There's going to be a point where there's going to be an MCU fatigue, and at that point, I feel like Feige and the producers are smart enough to know that, and they will probably have to do a lot of things differently, creative wise, to push the medium even more, so they can sustain what they have had for the last 10 plus years. So yeah, let's go with Ziggler. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I would love to see like a Doctor Strange 2, like in Phase 4, and also I'd love to see a Phase 4 Miles Morales movie with maybe Peter Parker in it too, and also I would love to see a reboot in the MCU of Blade, and Blade will be played by Jamie Foxx. That would be awesome. And yeah, also I would love to see like Avengers Disassembled or X-Men House of M. I would love to see those. And I would love to see the Silver Surfer too. So
X-Men House of M is too big of a storyline. Like I feel like they'll save that for like around the time where like Avengers 10 would come out. So I feel like that's too big of a storyline, and you need like.
Did you not watch like freaking Infinity War and then Civil War and then freaking Endgame coming out? Like,
it took 10 years to build up to Infinity War.
I'm just saying I would like a House of M now that X-Men is back. I'm just saying, God, I didn't say it had to happen like right now. I'm just saying I would like to see it. What?
You kind of implied it.
What? That
like
one
Phase 4 predictions.
Well, well, fucking fine. Give me a Phase 5 then.
Yeah,
give
like
me
just the future of MCU.
5 or 6. Fine, then
Avengers 10 is gonna be freaking bonkers.
Then the Avengers for Phase 4 would be Avengers Disassembled. There, happy? Are you happy, Hound? Are you happy?
Pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
What are your Phase 5 predictions?
What?
Yeah, Hound, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Let me get up my notes queued up. I feel like it's going to be very different. I feel like, because we're not going to see any of the Phase 1 heroes in the MCU as big players anymore, like Cap, Tony, Thor. They're not, like, even if they're retired or dead, they're not really going to be, like in every single movie or even every other movie. And because it's gonna be like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, etc. And I feel like they're gonna experiment with some new ideas and with some new things and ideas, like Syed, you said, because like they could definitely comic book fatigue, MCU fatigue could definitely happen in the next few years. So they definitely gonna have to start experimenting. Like Fox started experimenting, and it worked for them. Like rated R comic book movies, the horror movie they started making, New Mutants. Don't know what's gonna happen to that, and I really feel like I really feel like New Mutants is gonna be like one of the first MCU X-Men movies. So I feel like it's small enough, and to like be in the MCU and it doesn't like affect big things. Like after mutants are introduced, boom, put this out there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Also, I feel like there are going to be more prequels because apparently Captain Marvel is going to be a prequel. Captain America was a prequel. Captain Marvel was a prequel. So I feel like there's going to be like a lot more prequels.
You just said that. You just said Captain Marvel was a prequel twice.
Oh, I did? Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, Captain America and Marvel are both prequels. And maybe Black Widow is one, with Taskmaster as a villain. And Taskmaster is one of the best villains ever in the comics. He can literally watch you 2 minutes fighting and copy exactly what you just did. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, that's a good villain.
I would like to see Galactus and not a fucking cloud again. So.
Yeah. Also, I would like to see like more crazy and weird stuff, like more like along the lines of like Thor Ragnarok. I would love to see my boy Beta Ray Bill in the MCU because like my boy's been shafted. My boy's been like
fuck Beta Ray Bill.
What? His hammer was stolen by Thor. His hammer is named Stormbreaker, and they're like, "Ooh, the kids don't like Stormbreaker." And how about we steal this from Beta Ray Bill? Because I really don't feel like Beta Ray Bill's ever going to be in the MCU, even though he was kind of in Ragnarok. Like, Beta Ray Bill doesn't.
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta motherfucking throbbing cock.
What? I don't know what Hound just said, but you know what? We're gonna move on now.
I don't know what he just said either.
Yo, I can't wait to see Spider-Man as an adult, though, like growing up.
Dude, you literally said that like every. You weren't even talking about Spider-Man, and you literally said that exact same line. Like
I just can't wait, though. Like, I can't wait.
If you want to see him as an adult, go watch Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
No, like in the comics when he goes to college and stuff.
Then read the comics.
Well, I feel like after Endgame, nothing is going to be the same again, and the whole universe is going to be impacted greatly. I would like I said in the past, I think X-Men and Fantastic Four in the future, 5 or 6 in the future, is going to be a definite necessity. And going back to Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, Spider-Man 2, and 3 eventually in the future. I see a bright future for the MCU, even though it's going to be greatly impacted. And as far as villains, we can get Annihilus and Kronos and maybe like Adam Warlock as a villain or Galactus. I think Galactus is like staged like kind of like how they did Thanos, like the first big movie of Phase 4. They have Galactus lurking again, and then they finally have the big reveal, or in the end credits of Endgame, because they sometimes shoot these end credits so last minute, like Avengers 1, the shawarma scene was like super, like literally like the release date, they finally put it in. And maybe they have something involving Galactus because he takes shape of whatever planet he's going to. So like something interesting like that. Like you see like just space and the camera pans up and you see the helmet like of Galactus in the distance like fading away. Something cool like that. It's gonna be. I have good hopes for Endgame. And not Endgame, my bad. For the future of the MCU.
Yeah, sounds good. Kind of like what you said about Galactus. I think that's a great idea where he can eventually be the big bad villain like Thanos in the next 10 years. They can build up to him. So hopefully that happens.
Damn, in 10 years I'm going to be 30. Fuck.
Yeah, same.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the MCU pretty much started when I was 10, now I'm 20. That's crazy.
I started when I was 8, now I'm 19.
Dang.
It started when I was 8.
Dang, how old was I in 2008?
How old were you, Cam?
I was like trying to dig deep into my conscience. 9.
Yes. Oh, so you're
obviously 6. So
Hound was like no, he was like I think 8.
Yeah, I was
10.
probably
Hound was 10 months.
I was
And I was
9 in
18.
2008.
Yeah, just crazy to see how MCU has just grown with us. It's crazy.
Am I the youngest one on here?
No, I think Hound is.
Yeah, I'm probably the
Oh
youngest.
yeah, Hound. I forgot
Yeah.
Hound 14. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the baby of the group.
Yeah, the baby. All right.
the baby
So,
who apparently sounds like a
He's
monkey.
way past. It's way past his bedtime. Also,
oh, true.
Alright, I'm kicking him out.
Nah. All right. So my next question for you guys was, I wanted to ask you guys. Well, this is a question I think we've all kind of answered throughout the whole podcast today, but I'm still gonna ask it. If you have an answer, you can go ahead and just. It's an open discussion. What are some interesting theories relating to Endgame and MCU overall that you've heard, and why do you think those theories are pretty plausible or really good? So just blur it out.
I don't think any theory is plausible for Endgame.
I haven't heard any theories.
I got a few. If you guys want me to name them all.
No.
Only name one.
Go ahead.
Name one. Let me
Yeah, go
choose
ahead.
It's
one.
2:00 in the morning.
I got that Nebula will get the Infinity Gauntlet because we've all seen that comic screenshot, or you may have read it. I don't know. Do you guys think that'll happen or no?
It would be pretty comic accurate, but I don't know how over that's gonna be with the crowd.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was
probably not. What
Thanos is gonna come down and fuck up and blow up the Avengers HQ. That's gonna be
That's what- yeah, you've been saying
the
that.
first big act of the movie in like the first
That's
half
going to
an
be
hour.
like the Battle of New York, like how Infinity
That's
War
gonna be the
was.
battle of the Avengers HQ, I guess.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's a good one. I've never.
And
heard
that's
that
where
before.
we see
I
the
could see that one
Trinity.
happening.
That's where we see the Trinity like walking to Thanos when he's like sitting down and shit. That's where
I
we
don't
see
see
that.
I don't see Tony getting back that early though.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah, he's gonna be back definitely because they go
he's
on
gonna be
the.
pretty
I believe they go on. I believe they go on their first mission without Tony to go to fucking Thanos' farm because Nebula told them to, but Tony didn't go because he's not on the ship. When we saw in the Benatar, he's not on the ship. So their first mission is to go to see Thanos in his home planet, in his farm, but he's not gonna be there. I don't know why. I don't know.
Apparently,
I don't
Tony's
know
very
yet.
emaciated.
I didn't hear what you said, but okay.
Apparently, Tony's very emaciated.
Yeah, he's been without food and water for a long time, and he's fucking injured too. Remember, he got fucking stabbed. Like that does.
He healed himself.
He can't fucking heal like Wolverine. So
Yes,
yeah,
he can.
he
Yes,
yes, he
Hogan.
can. So yeah, he's pretty hurt right now. So he's got to take it easy for a little while. But yeah, Avengers. But Thanos is gonna come and blow up the Avengers HQ, and that's gonna be a big battle in the first act.
I hope they make Avengers mansion, like in the comics.
What?
Avengers mansion.
No.
I think the left-hand theory. I was
going to mention that one too.
Because, especially because you got to look in all the movies, he's always grabbing at his left arm.
Yep.
And like in
What do you mean?
in Homecoming,
Have you never seen it?
in Homecoming, he's
Yeah, what's this left-hand theory?
can I explain?
Yes, that's what I'm asking you to do. So if you could stop being a smart ass and just explain it to me, please.
Look in Homecoming when he's arguing with Peter on the dock, he's grasping his left hand hard. In Civil War, he's you can see him constantly always rubbing his left wrist in the beginning of the movie, and also he says, "My left arm is numb. Is that normal?" And
He also has a cast in that one.
Yeah, in Civil War, he has a cast on his left hand.
When was the first time you referenced his left hand?
I think in Iron Man 3.
It was actually Iron Man 1. He gets shot. I don't know. It's a far stretch. He gets shot in the left hand when he's flying in the
Also,
fight with the Jets.
someone always, I think in Phase 3, someone always loses their arm in Phase 3 in the movie, so I think Thanos is going to lose his arm with a gauntlet.
Wait,
I
their
didn't
arms.
finish the left arm theory. But
They
What?
stopped that. It was phase 2.
I
Oh.
didn't finish. I
It
didn't
wasn't
finish
phase
the
3.
Well, in
I
Phase
did
3,
think-
like, they were, like, doing, like, a Star Wars thing, like, celebrating
know.
Star Wars or whatever, by cutting off the arm. It was, like, they did that in a lot of movies. They did that in Infinity
I know
War.
what you're talking
They did
about.
that in Civil
But-
War.
But apparently the theory is that when Tony, if Tony gets his own gauntlet and wears it, and when it makes such a catastrophic effect, it is so intense, it affects him in the past and until the future, because it's such a heavy ripple effect.
What do you mean it's going to affect him in the past?
Like, it's such an effect on his genes and on his body of using the gauntlet that it's such a rippling, decimating effect that it affects him throughout every history and stuff like that. It's like a rippling effect and like a butterfly effect that, like, he could feel the future, like, effects still happening, because he's a futurist. Like, he guessed, he predicted the Endgame theory. He predicted Pepper being pregnant. He predicted the threat, big threat coming up there, and that they'll lose. Like, and something like that. Where, like, I think for sure they've been teasing like small hidden Easter eggs, like that. Always grabbing at the left wrist that Tony will be holding the gauntlet, just like I think how when.
Do you think he's going to have a gauntlet suit?
Oh, that would be the best thing ever.
That'd be pretty dope, though.
And
I thought
that
it
would
was
be cool.
gonna be like a gauntlet just on his hand.
But that is what a gauntlet does, Hound. And then also like and also like just like a hidden Easter egg, like the theory about when Strange makes multiple copies of himself and Thanos grabs him, he says, "You're full of tricks, wizards, but you haven't used your greatest feat yet." A fake. That's not really the Strange he got. And Strange sent his astral form out, and it's going to appear in Avengers 4 via his astral form. Because you remember in Doctor Strange, he could turn invisible with it and make himself seen. So yes,
That's an interesting theory.
I saw that one.
It's a
Also,
really good theory.
another theory that the time stone that Thanos got, like, wasn't it wasn't like the real like time stone, because the time stone is the only stone that Thanos didn't touch.
Oh,
that I remember that one. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
And also
And now we're bringing it back up because it's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
time stone is like something's wrong with the time stone, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, so I think a lot of time shifting, time traveling.
I hope they have time traveling in this movie. I love time
I
travel.
hope so. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, I think a lot of
That's
people
why I
are
love Back to the Future and The Flash.
Yeah.
pro. So I think a lot of people, I would say, generally pro time travel.
Time travel just makes things funner. You have
And
to think more, but it's fun.
And we all seen those behind the scenes shots with the Battle of New York, right? We've all seen that with Ant-Man and Tony.
Right.
Yeah. Old Tony.
Well, I mean, those were behind the scenes.
Those are like
took.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the world has seen those.
Those are years old at this point. Yeah.
If not, I'm sorry.
Oh
Yeah.
well.
Well, just put up that picture, Ziggler, when you're editing.
Definitely,
this.
I will.
There's a few.
Yeah, it was like last year. I think it's been more than a year since that.
Oh yeah, it's been a while, man.
Another theory that I saw, I don't see it happening, like I said earlier. They're gonna travel to the Battle of New York. They're gonna, I don't know how, but they'll somehow get Loki on their side. They're gonna travel to Age of Ultron, and they're gonna fix Ultron so he's not evil, and he's the super bot that Tony designed. Then get him on their side, and then they'll go back to the present and defeat Thanos, which I don't see happening at all, just because.
No, I don't think they got changed.
Imagine if
Right.
all these theories are wrong and we're just being stupid.
I would
Yeah.
love that. Honestly, that's great.
That would be fun, just bringing back the first two.
And like we just
to
look
defeat
back,
the last one.
we just look back on this video and be like, "What the fuck were we thinking?"
Oh,
I
we're
think
so
the
going
best theory would be nothing.
Yeah,
that we've seen in the trailers or any TV spots or anything is what we're gonna see. Everything is fake.
After I see Endgame, I'm gonna go back on this podcast and listen if we got anything right. And if we didn't get anything right at all,
imagine
I'm gonna
Hound
be like,
predicted all the right things.
If that happens, I'm gonna that's
the end is nigh.
Last theory I have that was not mentioned is that instead of Captain America dying, like we all are thinking he's gonna travel back in time and live out the rest of his days with Peggy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
That's a time like that would mess up time.
Oh yeah. Also, Ant-Man might be like stuck in a time vortex. He might like be like in the past or whatever. Because in the first
trailer.
Yeah, the first trailer it says like archive 1970 or 80 something. I mean, I remember I guess they all sell that a lot. So with Ant-Man riding the van and like Captain America's like that video old or new, and like
that probably creates a paradox which would mess up the timeline.
Yeah.
And even
members of the Avengers.
and fucking what's is it Janet Van Dyne? Is that her name? She said to Scott like don't get stuck in a time vortex. We might not be able to get you out, and he might be stuck in a time vortex. We don't know.
That's probably the only way to get out of the quantum realm.
Yeah, exactly. Like how the fuck is he gonna get out of the quantum realm? Like nobody knows he's there.
Ant-Man's gonna get out by himself. Remember,
there's a city in the quantum realm.
He can get out. He's not stuck there.
There's a city in the quantum realm.
Well, that doesn't help. That didn't help Janet Van Dyne at all.
Yeah. Well, she must have because that's how much she probably survives.
Yeah, maybe she takes a chance and goes inside the thing that he wasn't supposed to go into, and it ends up working out. Could happen.
Yeah. When do you guys think Tony's gonna get back to Earth, and how? Like, what point in the movie?
It's gonna be in the very early beginning.
Before second act.
I'm gonna say beginning of the second act because I feel like there has to be something that needs to happen in the first act for us to be explained like, oh, this is how Tony gets back.
I think he's gonna get back to Earth like in like the first 10 or 15 minutes, and him and Nebula are gonna conduct a plan somehow. Because you've seen in like one of like the trailers that him and Nebula are like making something and like on the Benatar or whatever. The Super Bowl one. Yeah, you see them making something like to get back to Earth, I believe. So it's gonna be very early on, probably. It might.
Yo, speaking of the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
Speaking of the Super Bowl trailer, I wonder where the Rocket
move
is.
On.
Because Rocket like opens a door and he's like, it looks like he's on an island.
That's on the farm planet.
Really?
Yeah, that's in the first act when they all go to the farm and Thanos is not there.
I mean, there's a shot of Thor at Thanos' house.
That's where they show Thor with the Stormbreaker when he's on that planet, on the same planet with Rocket, and Rocket's opening the door to see if Thanos is in there, but he's not. He's not going to be there. I don't know why or how or what's going to happen, but yeah.
I honestly don't think that's Thanos' planet.
Because Nebula's gonna tell them about Thanos' planet, and that's how they're gonna go up there. And then that's when like Rocket says like, "Have any of you ever been to space?" And then I saw
that. That was a TV spot.
And it's like, well, don't throw up or whatever.
Don't barf on my ship.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's probably the most accurate thing that can possibly happen.
You're cleaning it up if you throw up.
Yeah. Alright, so with that, we're going to end this episode. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode. We had fun recording it. And
thank you to the 788 people that actually gave a damn and watched all 8 hours of it.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching WrestleMania 35.
This was our Mania 35 because it's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, we didn't watch. Yeah, we didn't post anything about wrestling this week because the Suicide Shakeup was quite shite this week.
Yeah, probably.
Next week.
I mean the draft.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Next week, when we come back, we will do our more regular topics, but we will also have Avengers Endgame non-spoiler reviews coming in. So that's going to be a big episode.
I can taste it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I like to taste Captain Marvel.
This is Syed signing off on episode 12. We'll see you guys next